Hi, my name's Chris Lane, and I'm a head of subject in the School of Social Professions, and I wanted to welcome you to the school and tell you a bit about what we do. Um, this is a picture of an aerial view of London, and in the top left-hand corner you can see the university. A real landmark that's close to where we're located is the Emirates Stadium, and I think that's interesting to me, partly personally because I go and watch Arsenal play sometimes, but also I think because Arsenal are a good example of the kind of organisation that we work quite closely with. They have a very well-renowned community engagement programme, helping to support and develop young people in the local community. And they contrast as a very large global organisation with much smaller voluntary organisations who we also work closely with. About a mile and a half to the east, where I live in London, is Dalston, which is part of Hackney. Now, Hackney historically has been one of the boroughs in London with the highest levels of social deprivation. And actually, in spite of the real wealth of the city, there are pockets of tremendous poverty, and Hackney has traditionally been one of those. So, some of the highest levels of deprivation of anywhere in the country, and I think we're really interested in using this opportunity that we have of being located in the heart of the city to really try to address the kinds of social problems that come out of deprivation and inequality. We're also, by contrast, located close to the City of London, to Moorgate and Silicon Roundabout, where some of the largest levels of incoming investment for new tech businesses occur. And we actually have a centre in Old Street called Accelerator. And one of the things we do there that has a real connection to the work of the School of Social Professions is to develop new social enterprises that use various forms of innovation. It could be digital innovation to make a difference in society. Just a little bit further to the east is Aldgate and Brick Lane, where London Met's art school is based. And I think one of the great things you get from coming to a university like London Met is that if you're studying a course like health and social care or education studies or community development, you're not just in your subject area, but you have connections with, for example, people from the creative sector who are also interested in some of the same kinds of things as you, but potentially you can form teams with them and develop ideas that can only really emerge out of the thinking that comes about when you combine ideas from different disciplines. Um, we're really central. So the Shard and London Bridge are there. Tate Modern, that's the UK's biggest tourist attraction, believe it or not. An art gallery is a bigger tourist attraction than somewhere like a theme park like Alton Towers. The London Eye and the South Bank, Downing Street. Now, I think being really close to the centre of political power is tremendously important. As a university, we really try to have an influence on what the government does and how it forms public policy to improve the lives of people in society. And I think one of the things we share with our students is a passion for trying to make a difference. The Mall and Buckingham Palace are just here. Oxford Street and the British Museum, incredible assets that you have available to you if you study in London, world-renowned museums. And just a little bit further to the north from Oxford Street is King's Cross, just in normal times. I'm conscious that I'm giving this presentation when we're having our movement restricted as a result of coronavirus, but in normal times, King's Cross St Pancras is just 2 hours away from Paris. And there are incredible facilities like the British Library, which is available to our students. Incredible resources that are unique in the world and great study spaces. But of course, we have great study spaces ourselves at the Holloway campus. And just to highlight where we are and how centrally located we are, I think it's worth just noting that if you come to London Met, you really will be in the heart of things and not out in the suburbs, as is the case for some of the other London universities. This is the view from the roof. And just to highlight that point about our political connectedness, this is one of our former students, Barbara Toomey, who worked very closely with Jeremy Corbyn's campaign in the general election of 2017. And Barbara studied with us, and I think she did incredible work to develop her own career while she was a student. But I think she definitely benefited from the kinds of connections that she made through the links we have to Westminster in the university. And Barbara's gone on to have a fantastic career in supporting women's rights in women's projects since she graduated. Now, in terms of the subjects we offer, there's a wide range. So social work, people who are going to work, for example, in supporting adults who are vulnerable or children and young people who might be at risk of abuse. And this is a program that's accredited by Social Work England. Youth Studies, which is for people who are interested in having a career in some form, working with young people. I mentioned Arsenal earlier, so community development, where students are learning about how to work to really empower people within their communities, perhaps a residents' association linked to a housing program or a housing association. There's a lot of work in this field for people who are expert in understanding how to work with communities. Many students take our education studies programs, which might lead to gaining work in education subsequently, for example, as a primary school teacher. And you can go on and take a PGCE after graduating at undergraduate level. We have teacher training programs as well. So we actually at any one time have a couple of hundred students training to be teachers. We have an exceptional extended degree program. So if you're somebody who is coming to the university who may not quite have the grades that you need to get onto the degree course you want, you can take a year in advance of doing the degree. It's integrated so that you get to have the destination award named in the degree that you're taking, but you get an extra year of study at level 3. We have one of the best health and social care programs in the country, certainly one of the largest as well. And many students take this program who have some connection in voluntary work or in paid employment in the health and social care sector, an incredibly important sector in terms of the challenges that we're faced as a society with an aging population. And at the other end of the spectrum, we all know that one of the ways that you can address social problems in society is by giving a really fantastic start to life for young people, and areas like parent education and centres that give a holistic approach to developing young people at that early stage of education is seen as being incredibly important for preventing problems later on. For example, it could be in issues to do with criminal behaviour later in life. The view is that many of these issues can be prevented if the right start is given to young people. So we have an amazing early childhood studies degree that prepares people to become professionals in that sector. And we also have some incredible programs that support the NHS to bring doctors who are qualified from their home countries, and then when they've come to the UK as refugees, we give them a bridging program that helps them to get work where there are real skills gaps and shortages in the NHS. These are some of the organisations that accredit our programs. Actually, this is a set from across the university, but for example, the Chartered Institute of Housing, the National Youth Agency, the England Standards Board, and the National College are all organisations that we have worked with in the past or work with now to accredit our courses. So you don't just get your degree, you get the badge that goes along with your course from an external validating organisation. I mentioned Arsenal, and I said that it's not just large organisations like Arsenal, but actually very small voluntary organisations as well, and some larger ones like, for example, Greenpeace and Scope. These are all organisations that are based within a mile of the campus in Holloway. And I think a really important characteristic of the university is that it's located right alongside this incredible cluster of organisations that are working with the most vulnerable in society. And our students get the benefit of going out and taking work placements alongside these organisations. One of the things I think we try to do with our programs is that when you get to the stage where you're doing your dissertation, we look to find ways that your work and the research that you do can actually make a difference with our partners. So you might go out and work on placement in a particular setting, and then go on to actually do some research that might benefit that organisation when you get to the later stages of your courses. We really want to make your experience a good one. So we do a lot to help you prepare for study from the period even before you join the university. So today is the start of what we hope will be a relationship with you, and we want to engage with you in the period leading up to September when courses begin. We really focus on outstanding learning and teaching. You'll find that we are giving you access to lecturers who really care about your development, and that starts with having an outstanding experience in the classroom and also experiencing the most innovative approaches to teaching. So lots of use of online tools and the opportunity for you to develop your digital literacies. In our assessment and feedback, we look to create methods to find out how you're doing and to measure your performance that aren't based on things like exams mainly, although there are occasional courses with exams. Mainly what we're doing is assessing you in ways that are actually testing the skills that you will really need in the workplace. We have a lot of support for you. There's a real wraparound program within the university with people who are experts in giving support around mental health and finance. And I think we really want you to get involved as well. There's an amazing students' union. Lots of our students play sport for the university. We have great sports teams, lots of student societies, and also a program of lectures that often happen at lunchtimes or in the evenings that aren't associated with any one particular course, but allow you to get a feel for subjects that are outside of your immediate discipline. And I think another feature of what we do is that we listen to what you say and we look to shape your programs based on your feedback. That's tremendously important to us. Just one topical note to end with. So this is Jane Clegg, who's London's chief nurse. So very busy at the moment, helping with the effort to get London ready to deal with the coronavirus. And Jane was a student with us. She took her undergraduate degree at London Met in health and social care. So we're very proud of the people who have taken their path through our programs, have gone out into society and are making an incredible difference. And one of the things we think is that, we think that the students we have with us now are part of the same story, and we're hoping that we can support you to find your own path through your own career and into society, so that you can make a difference yourselves. And I think that concludes what I wanted to say. I hope that you have a chance to enter any questions into our chat while you're watching these videos, and we'll be here ready to answer your questions.